Welcome to Coffee Time. My name is Ken Anderson, your host, and I'm here today with Ken Christian. Ken, briefly, could you tell us something about yourself?
Well, Ken, I'm from Wadsworth, Ohio, missionary to this area. This is my second trip up here. God has called me to start Christian cafes. This will be my third one. And thanks to you and Michelle that made opportunity for me to come in here and start up the cafe to reach this community.
How would you describe your mission here, Bishop, in Millinocket? Do you would mind describing cafes for friends?
Well, the cafe ministry is really unique compared to church ministries as norm, because what it does, it goes out in the community and it reaches the people where they're at. One of the scriptures in the Bible that Jesus pertained to was for these people to know that we're disciples of Jesus Christ is how we love one another. So cafe ministry sets up opportunity as a Christian, as a missionary, to create an atmosphere for people to come into that we serve. We try to give them something to eat, coffee, drinks. It doesn't cost them anything. And it gives a relaxing atmosphere for them to come into that's non-threatening, and by the same means, by caring for them and loving on them, that they'll know that Jesus loves us all, and it's a way of sharing it. A lot of these people don't go to church, so there's sort of an ambush type thing as they come into these cafes. We're able to love on them and serve them, and so far, even here with Cafes for Christ, we've the Lord has blessed us with 7 decisions for Christ. And to me, that is a great victory right there that a lot of churches are unable to do, and for one reason or another. But cafes, Christian cafes, create an atmosphere for that, for people to be a little bit more relaxed and comfortable with, that I believe God is really moving in that area to moving people's lives.
How does your work differ from that of the 7, 8 or more churches that we have here in Millinocket?
Well, the way I look at it, Ken, is most of the time, and a percentage of this will say Millinocket, probably 60, 70% of the people don't go to church. Might even be higher than that. First of all, that creates something that the church is unable to reach because they're not coming, no matter what kind of programs they have. But what I present here is really not that different than the church, other than religious practices that they do that we don't do here, like taking up collections or as far as singing songs and things like that. But as far as the ability and capability of reaching the community, I think the cafes far outreach the church because of the atmosphere, a little bit change. People don't consider it to be church, so they come in with a little bit more of an ease, or come in at all. We've had people come in and not really knowing what it's about and felt comfortable with it, where maybe they would or would not even go to church, feeling uncomfortable before they went. So what we are is really just an outreach from the church to create a different atmosphere for people to come in and to be loved on and be served.
So you don't feel like you're competing with any of the other churches?
No, I'm not here to compete. I'm here to be a help, actually, as a servant of the Lord, to minister, lead people to the Lord, and hopefully, and as time progresses, to some of these people that are getting saved. Now they're coming to our church service on Sunday, but I'm believing there's times that they're going to need to be filtered into some of these other churches for discipleship and learning and these things. And that's why I believe it's to their best interest to find out, especially church leaders, why I'm here. I'm not here to take any place of any church. I'm not here to take pastors' jobs. I'm not here to ask for money. I'm here to reach people for Jesus Christ and hopefully lead them to the Lord, and then have them filtered into these churches. A lot of people come from different backgrounds. We've got Baptists and Pentecostals, and we've got non-denominational. So a lot of these people that are coming in will be filtered into these churches as they would want to, and maybe even at that time feel more comfortable about going to church once they come in and see some realness of how how and what Jesus does. You know, not man, taking the eye off of man and seeing what Jesus does. Could very well, and has in the past with the other two cafes that I've opened, opened some doors for other churches, for these people when they come in to go in and be discipled.
Good. Having been involved in my own small way with Cafes for Christ here in Millinocket, I know that that is true. We have a couple of kids that are attending our church as a direct result of their exposure to Cafes for Christ down here. How would you say so far? How do you think that what's your assessment of how things are going in Millinocket with Cafes for Christ?
Well, actually I'm amazed. Because when you come into a place and you're trying to raise up the support, get a building, blah, 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 and these things, to see what God's done in such a short period of time, in less than 2 months actually, with you guys opening up the facilities here to be used. That was on a Saturday. Now we're here Friday and Sunday. Man, I tell you, only God can do what has happened so far. Even last night we had over 24 people here. It was just amazing to me to see that. I look at that and I go, you know what, that's God. Because man could never orchestrate that. And I'll tell you what, I am very pleased. You know, I mean, I could pack up my bags and go home tomorrow. I mean, really, but God hasn't called me to do that. I'm here to at least April, unless God decides to support and other things to keep me here longer, and He very well may. From what I'm seeing and how it started off, I mean, I've been in this for over 5 years, and I've never seen it quite like this. So you look at it and you know that, you know, God's in this. And God is doing an awesome thing, and I just thank God I'm part of it. And I thank God for you and Michelle that you allowed that opportunity to happen and being obedient to God. And I've said this before to a lot of people, and I believe it is so, that obedience belongs to us. Results belong to God. And I see the results here at Cafes for Christ and here at Hard Drive Cafe every time these kids come in. And a lot of them give me hugs and, you know, hey, can I get a drink? And, you know, can I get a candy bar or something? And, you know, it just delights me to say, you know, go send them to you and you give it to them. And I see the smiles on their faces. Yeah, what a blessing that is. So I'm very, very pleased and happy with what God's doing so quickly, so quickly. And, you know, Ken, He's not done. He's just starting here. Whether I'm here to April or where I'm here for a whole year, doesn't matter. It's what God's doing. And what I see Him doing, I just can't wait till tonight. I can't wait till next week. I can't wait to see what God's going to do. An expectation of seeing the happiness and joy on these people's face, just being loved on, given something without paying for it, without strings.
I do know that it goes far beyond the few hours that we spend here 3 times a week.
Oh, yeah.
They take it home with them.
Amen. Amen.
They come back and they talk to people in the churches and the people that they know. It opens the door for other people to minister to them
Amen.
as well.
Yeah, I think in that perspective, the Word says that some come and plant seed, some come and water, but God brings in the increase. God is bringing in the increase here, and man, I tell you, I'm excited about
Well,
it.
that was quite a night last night.
Yes, it was.
As a Baptist, I don't know if I could take too much of
Oh
anything.
man, I know, but we get you Baptists in shape, and you'll be able to endure that, because that was typical cafe ministry. You got kids in here, we were doing programs, they were dancing, we had music, we showed a great film, we had some ministry, we shared, and you know, when people left here, you know, I don't think they wanted to leave. And that's what you create. You create a place that really you see them come, they don't want to leave, you know that you're being effective.
It's not just for kids though, right?
No, it's not just for kids. A lot of people think, and I don't want them to think that it's just for kids. It's for everybody. Matter of fact, I could use more grown-ups down here, Christians, to come down and to look at us and see what we're doing here, to be part of it, to help, you know, with the kids and keep everybody in line. And I don't, you know, I don't want the kids to feel uncomfortable, but it isn't just for kids. It's for everybody. I know there's a lot of people don't, you know, wintertime, older folks don't get out of their homes, that this is an opportunity for come down and get some coffee. And here real soon on Saturday we'll be serving some more meals, soup, spaghetti, sloppy joe, something like that, that they can come down and have something to eat in a safe environment.
I think that's one of the things, other than the the larger number of people, it was a good mixture of adults and kids that we had
Right,
last night.
right.
It really made.
Now, the 24 is probably half and half. When you think, or was it?
Probably.
Yeah, something to that effect.
Probably a fair assessment.
Mhm.
What are your needs, or the needs of Cafe for Christ? Immediate needs and needs of this ministry as to continue in the future?
Well, the basic need, boy, I sure don't want to put me as the primary objective of being here, because I do have support for me being here to a certain time. So the need really isn't so much finances off the bat, as it is individuals coming down, seeing it, catching the vision, being part of it, so I can have someone to turn this thing over to at the appointed time. That's the main thing that I need, for people to come down, and we're having that, and they're going, boy, it's really great, and sometimes they come back and sometimes they don't. So the immediate need of my heart right now is for people that has been wanting to minister and do something for Jesus. What an opportunity. I think it was mentioned last night that this is a boot camp. And boy, what a great place to come. It's non-threatening. You can learn how to minister. You know, Brother Ken, we always want to get the Bible and sort of beat them with it. But this cafe environment ministry, really what it is a listening thing. You need to sit down and listen to people, because people want to talk and they want to let you know about their problems. And that's a tough ministry. So that's the primary thing. But the second thing is, you know, it takes money to buy the coffee, the pop, the snacks, the food and so forth. So that's something, and it's really not that high an expense, other than like my expense of being here.
It just adds up.
It just adds up over a period of a month. I wouldn't have any idea. I don't think it's any more than $100, but it could be. That's a cheap ministry.
As the ministry grows.
As the ministry goes, that is, because it is our heart desire to expand more than the 3 days. I would like to see it open 7 days a week. And I believe there's a need for that. I know there is a need for that in this community.
You mentioned the need for adults to come down to help out with this ministry. And I think one thing that I've seen, I know that I've seen in myself, is you might come down here with the interest in helping up, and what you'll find is that you are helped at the same time.
Yeah.
It is, as you say, a boot camp in serving Christ.
It's a twofold thing.
If somebody wanted to help with this ministry, how would they go about it?
Well, I guess my first thing would be that they come down and check us out anytime, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Saturday or Friday would be preferably better. But if you wanted to meet with me, just a one-on-one, actually me and you one-on-one, and Michelle, that we'd be more than happy to sit down with them and maybe explain to them. But you know, saying goes, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I think the best thing is to come down and check us out, introduce yourself and to me, and if you don't know them, so we know who they are and why they're here, and see what's happening. Get a vision. And if they wanted to talk to me at any time, they could call here at the cafe, 9900, and leave a message. And we could set up a meeting if that's what they like, to get a clearer picture. But again, I think the best thing is to come down and check it out for themselves. And you know, it's time. It really is time, Brother Ken, for people to get up out of the pews and do something. I mean, we can only do so much in church because, as we said, a lot of people aren't coming to church. So this creates an environment for Christians to come in. And see, the more of those that come in, the more days I can open up. You know, we might not be able to get 75 or 100 people in here. That'd be a great problem. That'd be a great problem to have. But we can expand those out in the days and have so many come in one day and the next. And wow, what a problem that would be.
I know that one boy that came down here had told me that he had never been in the church. So it's very true that the churches aren't meeting everybody's needs, because the churches can only meet their needs
if
people are willing to go to the church.
Exactly.
The church as a body meeting in a specific building. Well, I thank you for being here with us today. I'd like to point out that Cafes for Christ is meeting Friday from 4 to 7 for movie and music ministries. Saturdays 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Bible study, 6 to 9 p.m. Cafes for Christ, and then on Sundays we're meeting from 2 to 4 p.m. for Cafe Church. We chose that time specifically so as to not interfere or conflict with any other church's worship schedule. Because as Ken pointed out earlier, Cafes for Christ does not intend to compete with any of the other churches. One other thing I think one last thing I guess that I would like to clarify is you're not affiliated with any particular denomination or type of Christian ministry.
Right. No denomination is supporting me. The church at large, as we call the church, the Little Rocks as I call it, they're the ones that are supporting me back in Ohio. And again, that's why I'm looking for support here, because it is for this community. So for someone back in Ohio to support something happening here, they're being blessed. I'm hearing from these people through my newsletters. And again, if anyone would like to get my newsletters, if they contact us, we've got 2 that's already went out. I can get copies made and sent to them, and I'm probably going to have at least 1 more going out. But we need that support coming from this community, not just from Ohio. I mean, let's let them get blessed. Let's get people here blessed by supporting them.
Well, I'm happy to have you here in Millinocket, and I thank you for coming here to be with us today.
Big brother, Jim.
Thank you.